Hi, I'm Stephen Sadler with Money and Power, The Secret History, and I wanted to tell you one of the most important parts of the story of our credit crisis and the downfall of our economy had to do with some actions taken by the Goldman Sachs investment banking company of New York, where they were selling derivatives. Derivatives are basically a hedging, they're a form of insurance, a way to hedge investments. They're based on forms of bets and counter bets. There's mathematical equations involved, and the idea is that you spread your risk out. But what they're really doing is they're hiding losses, they're hiding potentially dangerous situations. And then they got insured, but not very well, not accurately, and that's a whole other part of the story. But what really brought our economy down is when, even as Goldman Sachs was selling derivative products to investors, they were selling them short on the market, meaning they knew they were tanking. They knew they were doing very poorly. They thought they were poor investments, yet they were still selling them, number one. Number two, they knew ahead of time that they were going to dump these bad investments on the market. When you sell a lot, it's called a short. In this case, their CFO called it the big short, where they not only sold tons and tons of toxic assets in the market, which collapsed the market and drove the price down, they also betted that the price would go down ahead of time. And because they bet that the price would go down, and then they forced it down by dumping the toxic assets, they ended up winning the big bet, which ended up making them more money than all the money they were losing from the toxic assets. If you can follow that. But what it did, and they bet on the ABX index, so what they were doing is they were pushing the market down. They caused it to collapse. They brought the house of cards down, but they covered their own bottoms, and they actually made quite a bit of money. That was called the Big Short. But when they were interviewed in Congress, they basically lied about what they did. And I think the consumers and the public of the United States needs to know this is what's happening. Think about it. Look it up on the internet. I'm not the only one talking about it.